Well, hello, welcome back to Home Defense Shakedown. For this video, I'm doing a little different. I'm not using the fancy borders. I need all of the screen real estate because I'm going to be kind of walking through some stuff I got to show you on camera, and it's just tough to do it with that frame. And I kind of like the full screen anyway. Gives me a little bit more breathing room. When I started this business, I never thought that we would get as many phone calls as we have in the last couple of weeks, and we're a relatively new company. We've only been doing this for about 4 months or so. I never thought we would receive as many phone calls as we have from female clients. Females interested in having us come out and going through the process with them. I always kind of envisioned it would be guys primarily, that want us out so they can experience a live fire, force on force kind of thing in their house so they can be better prepared to protect their families. I wouldn't say never, but I anticipated that some women would want us to come out, but nothing like it's turned out to be, which is a awesome thing. And the stories change. I can give you an example. This last client, female client, we went out to her house. She was married. It's just her husband was a professional. He travels a lot. They have teenage kids at home, and him being gone for 3 or 4 days during the week, sometimes longer, depends on the job. She just wanted to have some experience on defending her home in case God forbid, a horrible thing was to happen. She just she was telling me that there were nights where every little sound, she's gotten better, with practice. But every little sound, she's like, oh my gosh, well, what if that was somebody coming in the back door? Or, oh my gosh, who is that at the front door? The doorbell would ring at 4 or 10 p.m. and she'd be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Do I answer it? Do I not? Get on my video camera? Do I look? And so I'm really impressed that a lot of women are giving us a jingle and having us come out. I love it. And typically those experiences are some of our best because the women that invite us out are interested in learning, they don't mind being taught. Whereas some of our male clients, they have experience in the past. And so, of course, they want to be kind of an active participant when it comes to some of the things, which is great. But women just really eat it up because they're just like, hey, it's just me. It's me against the world. Give me some skills that I can use to defend my family. So we love it. The number one question we get, and this is kind of the whole meat of the video, a lot of our female clients are like, okay, my husband has guns in the house. Some of the female clients have actually fired them. The ones that have fired them are not real impressed with them. They just don't like them. It's not what they feel comfortable shooting. In some of the situations, the husband's like, okay, honey, if you don't like this, let's get you something. Because, we love buying weapons for our spouses. And they go through the process and, sometimes they buy something, but then they don't practice as much as they should. Because once they get to the range and they shoot this handgun that they thought they liked, it ends up that they really kind of don't like it. And they'd rather be doing something else than shooting it. So they always ask me, hey, Todd, is there a particular weapon system, a handgun, whatever, that you would suggest for a female client? And it's really tough because there really isn't, because everybody's different. And everybody's situation's a little bit different. The way their house is laid out. Most of our clients live in bigger homes, say 3,000, 3,500 square feet and bigger. And so there's going to be certain things that go into play with defending something like that versus something that's a little bit smaller. So there's so many different variables. It's tough. And just for me to say, hey, this is what you need, it's really wouldn't be accurate for me to do that. All I can do is share my own personal experience with my wife. I have a lot of guns. I'm a huge advocate for having a rifle for home defense. My wife thought back in the day that I was crazy for thinking that because when you think rifle, at least with my wife, she thought like bazooka, you know, taking down, an elk, a hunting rifle. And she's like, that's just crazy. I've seen those go off. They're just super loud and they're big and it just doesn't make any sense. That's not the type of rifle that I suggest. So when I took my wife out, I really wanted her to get comfortable with a handgun, find something that she really liked to shoot that was comfortable for her and still had enough, was a caliber of something that could actually solve a problem if there's one that popped up, and a rifle that she could shoot with confidence. And I knew if I could find the right one that she would love it. And she would want to go to the range and she would want to shoot it because it's fun. So what we did is we went out, we took out what I thought she would like out of my collection. She fired it. She didn't like any of it. So we went out and started renting various stuff so that she could shoot. And it came down to the Glock 43. She loves this. And you see, I even went the extra step. It's Cerakoted in, I think they call this rose. And it does actually look really good. It looks pretty good on camera, but it looks even better in person. So it's, kind of pink-ish. She loves that. It fits in her hand. She loves it. It's 9mm, so it has enough punch to take care of the problem. I put a little laser light combo on here for her. I think that's a must on anything you have for home defense, and maybe I'll do a video on that. But it's set up perfectly. It's not super snappy, so when she's shooting it, it doesn't freak her out or scare her or startle her. She really is a good shot with it. But it's a handgun, and handguns are a bit more challenging to shoot, especially under stress. So that goes to the second weapon choice, and I don't think this thing's going to fit, but I'm going to give it a try anyway, which is this. This is a 9mm AR platform, short barrel, and this is actually a registered short barrel rifle, short-barreled rifle. And you see it has a suppressor on it, so when she shoots it, of course she's going to be wearing ear protection at the range. But I took her out in the desert and she fired it without hearing protection with the suppressor on, and she loved it. And I said, hey, honey, God forbid if something was to happen, you need to use this in our house. You don't have to worry about blowing out your eardrums. And she was like, oh my gosh, okay, that's even better. Because she was afraid that if she fired a thing inside somewhere that it would be so loud that she would have a problem with that it would damage her hearing or, startle her too much because it's so loud or just cause additional stress. She didn't want that, and this really solves the problem. It has a really simple to use red dot on it. You just put the dot where you want it to hit. It's a rifle, so you have the 4 points of contact. So when she brings this up, she can get a stable sight picture with it. It's just no downside to this rifle. And this is what she uses when I'm out doing training classes in the evening. She has this out bedside, ready to go. She loves it. So can I say, let me go ahead and detach this. Can I say that there's one weapon platform system for every female client? No. But this is our experience. And she loves both of these options. So I guess in a nutshell, experiment, shoot as much as you can. Definitely try a rifle platform home defense weapon. You won't regret it. As a matter of fact, this exact rifle my sister shot when she was down here visiting once, and she loved it. She was having a really hard time with the handgun that she brought. I just can't hit anything. She was having a hard time with it. And I worked with her a little bit and she improved. But it just wasn't working for her. She started shooting with this, making groups this big. I mean, now it's fun. And really, it comes down to making something fun. That way you want to go and practice, you want to get better. It's enjoyable. It's more of a social thing too. You're not just like, dreading it, but you're enjoying the people you're around. It's just, there is no downside to taking the time to find something that you enjoy shooting. Again, both of these are 9mm too, so they're relatively cheap to shoot. So you can practice a lot compared to, say, like a 300 Blackout, which is my personal favorite, even 5.56 or 2.23. It's half the price, so you can shoot twice as much for the same amount of money. And the new ammunition these days in 9mm is excellent. It will solve your problem. So there's my take. Thank you to all our female clients or the future ones, if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence. I think if you invite us out, it's going to be well worth it. Again, every situation has been different. The last client I told you about, she was married. We had a client where she is recently divorced, and she just felt very uncomfortable being in a home by herself, especially after the marriage and being in that for a while. And it was just new. Everything was new. She had a beautiful home, and she just wanted to feel safer while she was there with her family. But thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And until the next video, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.